Hey there, this is Brad with filterwaterdirect.com, and I just got finished installing one of our PSC1s. That's the 1-inch poly salt-free water softener. You're looking at it right there. This is a typical installation. I've got valves installed down line, which we can't see in this video, but normal installation would include a valve on both sides or a three-way valve system allowing you to bypass the poly unit so you had water to the house. But in this case, it's just a valve on the inlet and a valve on the outlet, so we don't lose a lot of water. So what I'm going to do here is show you how to service it. You'll see the drain valve on the bottom. The housing holds about 2 cups of water maybe, so we're going to drain that first. We've already shut our water off. We're going to drain that first. Then we're going to take the bottom off of the poly conditioner. We're going to go through the service procedure so it's clear on how to service it every 6 to 10 months. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drain this water out of this conditioner. You can put a hose on here if you want. Most people don't. They just drain it down. And then we're going to unscrew this. And this is just normally hand tight. It doesn't need to be real tight, or it doesn't need to be wrench tight. And the whole assembly will drop out just like that. So we're going to go over to the bench here and I'll show you how to actually disassemble it and get it ready for reinstallation. Okay, I've used the customer's bench here. He was kind enough to let me use his vise. You don't have to have a vise, just someplace that you can work. The bottom here is, I've got it sitting on a vise, but all you've got to do, now this is by the way, the Gen-4. So this is the PSC1 Gen-4. This is the 4th model that we've introduced. And this is the filter screen here. And you're going to want to service this from the inside out. So when you do clean it, and it needs to be cleaned every 6 to 10 months, every time you clean the unit, take this out and use a toothbrush inside of here and just thoroughly scrub all of the debris loose from the inside out. And then rinse it good. You can soak it in vinegar too if you need to. This is your actual poly cartridge. I'll shake that. You can actually hear the polyphosphate crystals in it. And I'm going to take you through the steps of replacing or adding crystals to this cartridge too. And then your gasket. There's not a bottom or top, it doesn't matter, but when you do put it back together, use Vaseline. Nice thick coat of Vaseline on that will help lubricate that silicone gasket. So the next step is let's go through this cartridge, showing you how to take it apart and refill it, and then we'll put this back together. Alright, here's the cartridge, and if you'll notice on the cartridge, there's a vented end. This is the vents here, these 4 slots, and there's a solid end. And so you want to work from the solid end, and you'll notice a seam right here, and you're going to want a small screwdriver, just about the smallest screwdriver you can use, and you're just going to start and just come around and just take your time with this, okay? Most of my customers actually do refill their cartridges because it's cheaper, and it doesn't really matter if, we've got the cartridge already filled, and we've got it, we sell just the packets without the crystals in them. Here, coming. And this is, you want to take your time. This is a little bit challenging, but whenever it pops, you'll notice now that this will come out, okay? And the vented end will come out. So, good time for you to clean. If you're going to reuse this, which they're made to reuse, scrub it with a toothbrush inside and out. Clean it up. This isn't really a filter, but it will collect a lot of debris in it if you don't keep it clean. So snap that back in. Now I've just got a bag of polyphosphate crystals here, but you can do this however you want. You can You can cover this up with a piece of tape, but you've got to get crystals back down in this opening here, on the outside opening. So I'm just going to take and it doesn't take much. It takes about 6 to 8 ounces is all it's going to take. And you don't want to pack it too tight. You can see right there how much I have in there. Okay? Leave a little room for space and just set that back down. That'll lock in and you're good to go. Now we've serviced our cartridge and we're ready to put it back in. Okay, the last and final step before you put it back together is you're going to want to clean the catalytic core. This is a clean core. This is actually the catalytic component inside of the water conditioner that actually does the does the work. It converts the calcium carbonate into aragonite crystals. This is probably what yours is going to look like after about 6 to 10 months, depending on your pH of your water. That's pretty normal, and they don't have to be exactly shiny to function properly, but you want to clean as much of that off as you can. So this is the brush I use in the field, and I like to soak the core and the screen, for that matter, in a little bit of vinegar for 30 minutes or so, and then take a small wire brush and just clean it good underwater, rinse it good, and then you're going to put it back in. So again, we're going to grease this gasket, or we're going to apply a lot of Vaseline on it. Put Vaseline on these upper and lower gaskets on your outer screen, and then set it in and seat it. Give it a little twist and make sure it's centered. And you're going to set your cartridge down in it, and you're going to set your catalytic core, the hard water bullet, down in that. And I forgot one part, sorry. This is very important. There's a bottom screen that has to be installed. That's this here, and it needs to be cleaned too. So it's going to go in with the ridge up, just like that right there. Set it in the bottom. Then you're going to put your bottom screen in. We almost got ahead of ourselves just a little bit. Then you're going to install the cartridge with the vent up, just like that. Then the catalytic core. And that's it. You're going to screw this back together hand tight and turn your water on and check it for leaks.